Do the Chiefs need help at running back? One website is suggesting a mega trade. Plus, we've got some top 30 visits to talk about. Welcome back to All Chiefed Up. We're back with another podcast
for that ass.
If you're a Kansas City Chiefs fan and you enjoy Kansas City Chiefs content, hit that subscribe button and also share this with a friend.
You're listening to All Chiefed Up.
First up today, BVM Sports suggests that the Chiefs may try to trade the 49ers for Christian McCaffrey if we don't address the running back position in the draft or anymore during the offseason, Steve. They say the 49ers may consider trading star running back Christian McCaffrey if they struggle in this upcoming season. With significant roster changes and the loss of 9 starters, the team's outlook appears less than optimistic. Sports Illustrated's Grant Cohn speculates that if McCaffrey plays well but the 49ers falter, they might look to unload him mid-season, particularly to the Kansas City Chiefs. The final strains of McCaffrey's contract, combined with concerns about his durability, could compel the 49ers to make a move. So he's trying to say if the 49ers don't look good and the Chiefs are in the hunt for the playoffs, Steve, we're going to trade for Christian McCaffrey. What do you think of that one?
I think they need to change the name of that website to HIA Sports, Head in Ass, because we are not going after Christian McCaffrey. No way we're going to give a haul over to San Francisco for a guy that never plays football. This guy spends more time on the sidelines and on the couch than he does in between the white lines, and I don't think the Chiefs have any time for it, especially when there's lots of good, young, intriguing prospects in this draft coming up.
Yeah, he missed 13 games last season due to injuries, man. Also, he's got a big cap number. I want to say this year it's going to be a $9.5 million cap hit in 2025. 2026 is $12 million, and in 2027, $27.5 million to a running back, Steve, that has injury concerns. I don't see the Chiefs doing that. So if that came to fruition, it would have to be a scenario in which he would probably play the rest of the season and then be cut. And also, you probably want to check and see if hell's frozen over.
Well, let's talk about a realistic possibility for the Chiefs at running back. They had a top 30 visit with Miami's Damien Martinez. Mike, how do you feel about him as a running back?
Yeah, I really like Damien Martinez, man. 6 foot, 217. He's got prototypical size coming out of Miami University, Steve. When the season started, I wasn't too impressed with Damien Martinez. I didn't really think he could carry the workload. I didn't think he had a lot of good film that would impress me to see that he fit with the Chiefs' running style. I still think he's more of a bruiser type back, and I don't know if Andy wants that. You always consider Andy and a slasher being like a perfect marriage. And Damien Martinez just isn't that, Steve. I actually comped him to Steven Jackson. I think he runs hard. He runs a 4.51 with a 1.56 10-yard split and a 35-inch vert. So he's pretty good across the board. Everything about him I actually do like. He had a 94.3 rushing grade per PFF. And that was actually with a gap grade of a 94, and a zone runner, he scored an 84. So with a 127.5 elusiveness rating, for a big back, I think he could be a tough tackle in the NFL, and that would wear down on teams late in games. And if you pair him up with a slasher like Isaiah Pacheco, I like it. A little thunder and lightning.
Yeah, Mike, Damien Martinez, he thrives in downhill gap scheme offenses where he can really use his patience, vision, and the punishing run style that he has. A lot more physical than what you would expect for a Chiefs running back, but maybe they want to move over to that style a little bit. But traditionally, they always have something a little different there, and he lacks that true home run speed that they're normally looking for in their players on the offense in Kansas City. Also, he does have some off-field issues, and I know that's been a big thing with our players lately. Luckily, Xavier Worthy skated by, and he was innocent in that whole mess. But after the Rashee Rice debacle, I don't know if you really take a chance on a guy that just had a DUI arrest in 2023 and could be a concern going forward.
Look, he's basically been a 1,000-yard rusher for the past 3 years. That's awesome. He has 26 total touchdowns in the past 3 years, and he could actually catch the ball out of the backfield. So I think when you combine that with 42 missed tackles forced, and he's got 13 carries of over 15-plus yards with 722 yards after contact, this is a big boy that you would like to see in the backfield for the Chiefs, Steve. We also met with another Miami prospect, Sam Brown Jr., wide receiver. Steve, let us know what you think about Sam Brown Jr.
So Sam Brown tested off the charts at the NFL Combine, Mike. I think his NFL trajectory hinges on his ability to translate into an explosive athletic wide receiver in the NFL. It just really depends on how he takes that step up into the league. He has a knack for creating yards after catch, and he demonstrated it by his 24 missed tackles last season, and that suggests that he does have some game-breaking potential. This could be a sneaky little play for the Chiefs because not a whole lot of people have Sam Brown Jr. on their radar, and this kid seems to be one of the most athletic guys out there.
So the Chiefs just sent Connor Embry out to Nebraska to see Isaiah Nair do his pro day. He was 6'4", 218, and he tested off the charts. Sam Brown Jr. is not that much smaller. He's 6'2", 200, Steve, and he run a 4.44 40-yard dash, say that 3 times fast, a 10-yard split of a 1.52, and he has a 41.5 vert. That is the highest vert of all wide receivers tested so far. So he is an athletic freak. He's also played at 3 different schools over the last 5 seasons. So that's kind of crazy because he never really produced much at any of those schools. I will say that his tape back in Houston was probably a little better than what you're going to find in 2024 when he was with Miami. So he needs to get a little more consistent. I think he needs to get a little better versus the press. And a big receiver like this, Steve, it's hard to succeed in the Andy Reid offense in the first place, being a 6'2", 200-pound wide receiver. We've seen it time and time again. But it looks like the Chiefs are committed to finding someone like this because they keep looking at him in the offseason process.
Yeah, Mike, well, he's not necessarily projected to be like an elite receiver in this class. I do think he has the raw tools that NFL scouts are always looking for, man. That combination of length, speed, and the after-catch ability, I think that draws favorable comparisons to successful pros. Actually, he kind of reminds me of the Buccaneers' Jalen McMillan, who went off last year. I like what the kid has to offer. It could be an intriguing prospect for the Chiefs.
Steve, we got a new slap nut of the day candidate here, Michael Hawley of NBC Sports. He said that he was going to go with the Kansas City Chiefs and that it seems strange, but if you look at this franchise, Steve, their Super Bowl window is shrinking. That's what he said with a straight face. What do you think about it?
Did Patrick Mahomes retire?
No.
Okay, the window is not shrinking. It is wide freaking open, ladies and gentlemen. As long as Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, their window is wide open. Brett Veach is doing a good job of putting pieces around him and building this team, keeping them young and keeping them in check, man. I think there's a long way to go before you talk about the Chiefs' window closing.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to play for another decade. So if you think a decade is a window closing, I guess in hindsight, if you're looking 50 years into the future, yeah, a decade's not too much out of 50 years. So maybe it is closing, right? But for the most people that live in reality, I think we'll be fine for the next 10 years.
So just a quick update on a story we covered a couple videos ago, but President Trump invited the Chiefs to the White House for their win in Super Bowl 54 because they weren't able to go to the White House because of COVID. Clark Hunt has responded, and he says that's very, very thoughtful of the president.
Yeah, he says we're very honored that the president would think about us going back to the 2019 season when we didn't get to go to the White House. He said we certainly would like to try to figure that out and figure out how to make it happen. There's only 6 guys on the team right now that played back in that Super Bowl. So like he said, the logistics would be pretty crazy because I think the Chiefs would probably have to cover the bill to get everybody to the White House, unless Trump was nice enough to send out Air Force One to pick them all up in succession around the country. That would be kind of funny as well. But just like we predicted, they're not going to turn it down because of political reasons or whatever else, like all the petty people in the world. They went with Biden 2 times, and they'll probably more than likely go with Trump if they can get all the logistics straight.
Yeah, so that's a cool opportunity for the guys that have not got to go to the White House that won a Super Bowl. I think it's a pretty kind gesture there. Now it's your turn, Chiefs Kingdom. Get down in the comments and let us know what you think about the Chiefs trading for Christian McCaffrey. Also, do you like Damien Martinez or Sam Brown, the guys that the Chiefs had on top 30 visits from Miami? Let us know down in the comments.
That's going to wrap it up for today. Thanks for subscribing, liking, clicking that bell. Share this with a friend. We'll catch you next time. Go Chiefs.